creating a software platform, an open software platform, but also a network of institutions that will create financial inclusion. So it's basically creating the tools and the knowledge to include the unbanked of the world. Half of the population in the world is outside of the formal financial system. You cannot have a savings account. You don't have access to financing for your startup. Then you are most definitely doomed to be poor for the rest of your life. Connect the poor entrepreneurs with the ones that already made it and are on the other side of the financial bridge, so they can really feel worthy human beings and feel recognized as a pair.
Welcome to the Paradise Paradox. My name is Aaron Battle, and I'm here with Diego from SystemaD. How are you doing today?
Very well, Aaron. Thank you for having me here.
Completely my pleasure. I wanted to ask you a couple questions about SystemaD, about how the development's coming along. But firstly, maybe just a few words on what SystemaD is and the goals that that's driving the movement.
Perfect. SystemaD has the goal of creating a software platform, an open software platform, but also a network of institutions that will create financial inclusion. So it's basically creating the tools and the knowledge to include the unbanked of the world. Half of the population in the world is outside of the formal financial system, and the implications of that in that people, it's like very harsh. It's like they are isolated, and then they get very few opportunities of get out of poverty just because of that. I mean, if you are poor and you are unconnected, you cannot trade with others, you cannot have a savings account, you don't have access to financing for your startup, then you are most definitely doomed to be poor for the rest of your life. So with SystemaD, what we are trying to do is to build a system and a network of organizations and people that will tackle that problem, but using cryptocurrencies as a means to do so.
Excellent. Yeah, when you were presenting it yesterday, I could see that it's more than just creating awareness of an alternate type of economy that can help people pull themselves out of poverty. It's also a change of psychology for the people, because I feel like at the moment, this is only me trying to be empathetic or imagine what it's like, because I haven't lived in that experience. But it's hard for a person to say, this is what I want to be in the future. This is what I want to do in 5 years. This is what I want to grow my business into. When you do have all these problems where you can't create wealth, you can't build, you can't save. It's and these are the applications that you're delivering to these communities.
Well, in that sense, we have three core values at SystemaD. One is education, and education empowers people. So that's core to bring up the self-confidence that you were mentioning. The other core value is integration. So we not only work on the digital world, we work on the real world and try to connect the poor entrepreneurs with the ones that already made it and are on the other side of the financial bridge, so they can really feel worthy human beings and feel recognized as a pair, not as somebody that it's below those other entrepreneurs. So for us, the human aspect is key. It's not just a secondary aspect. It's not that we are thinking that a technological platform will solve all the problems. And the third key value is reputation. So what we do is for people who doesn't have an ID to build a reputation. So that's a key point, because even if you don't have an ID, the way you behave in life is what you are and is what gives you value. But that reputation is lost, in the air. And one thing we want to build is a solution that will keep track of that reputation. And that's a very valuable asset to be included and to be recognized as a human being in society.
Yeah, this the idea of bringing the ID to the people is about being able to store their past history of positive transactions, and like a credible business person or a credible active participant to the ecosystem. I completely agree with you. It's critical that's what you get. No, that's what you give into the people. Jumping back to the presentation yesterday, I felt like you didn't develop. I mean, you're short on time. You didn't get to develop, much of how it's been rolled out so far, because I got the impression that it's more of this is a plan of what we want to do, but then you've recently informed me that you've already done a whole lot of work and it's well and truly established. Andreas Antonopoulos, he had some critique about it's more than just giving something to these people so they can use. It's about giving a platform that they can build on. But then you've also told me that that's exactly what you guys are doing as well.
Yes, I think Andreas made that critique basically because my presentation didn't reflect properly what we're doing in terms. I share the vision. I didn't share what we are actually doing. But there's already 14 people working in Buenos Aires in SystemaD, and part of that group is living in the slums. So they are living in Villa 31, and we are not like designing the system on the drawing board and then imposing that solution to these people, but the other way around. We go to them, we see what are their needs, where their pain is, and we build solutions tackled to those needs. So SystemaD is a construction that it's evolving through those interactions. It's not something that will came out of my mind or SystemaD's mind and will be imposed in these people, but will be the result of the interactions of all the involved in SystemaD. So you are exactly right. And in January, we are planning to have like our first experience going to a fair, sustainable fair, and asking the fair for a capital booth. So our social entrepreneurs from the slums will go and offer their products there. And we will do like a full test of the digital currency cycle. So people will come by, will get crypto pesos in exchange for, bills, for paper bills, and with that they will be able to pay to the social entrepreneurs through the SystemaD wallet with a discount. So they will get a benefit from that. And the social entrepreneurs will be able to reach to an audience that they cannot reach usually, because they usually can only sell to the poor people are surrounding them. So that's insurance of poverty as well, because like you are going to be in survival mode forever. So
exactly. Unless there is a platform where they feel that confidence and that security to build a future on, then it's constant day by day, and I'm assuming that they're almost a little bit closed-minded to wanting to think outside that if there's nothing there to support them. But how long has the program been going for so far, and is it the first pilot program of more to come?
Well, the program I started talking with our community early in this year in February. So that's when I launched the idea, and then we started gathering around and until we got these 14 people working on SystemaD. But we are also talking to the Bitcoin community in Sao Paulo, that they have reached to 100 social banks in the favelas. So the idea is, once we polish this initial system and this initial process, educational process, inception process, and how we interact within SystemaD, the idea is to roll out the same experiences through the region. So I think, we will have very nice experiences to tell during 2016.
Excellent. So it's not just one community. You're tackling that, learning from it, assisting, educating, and then rolling out over all Argentina.
Well, my reach is within the Bitcoin community mostly, although I had been talking to the government of the city of Buenos Aires, and I have some reach to some governments, but mostly, after the presentation of SystemaD, I was approached by many people that want to do their own experiences from Chile, Panama, Mexico. So I think the idea is to roll this out in Latin America in general.
Yeah, that sounds very very cool, because I know here in the Bitcoin space especially, there's a lot of people that have their moral compass in the right place and are more than willing to take, rather than taking a holiday to some tropical island, they'd rather go and hands on deck and do something to change the world they want to come back to, or they want to offer their children in the future. Like, it really is this dream to now take part and take action and create the world you want to live in.
Absolutely, and that's what drove me into what made me devote my life to Bitcoin in the first place, was the potential of Bitcoin to transform society, the potential I saw in Bitcoin to transform society. And for many years I was expecting to the pieces to fall into place, and I think the time has come. So it will be a long process. I expect SystemaD to be maturing during the next 3-4 years. So it's not something we need to make work right now. And again, we don't want to make it work right now, because that would mean that we are not properly hearing to the needs of the people who is going to use SystemaD. So yes, I'm very excited that we can actually turn technology into a game changer for the good.
So regarding the team that you have at the moment of 14 that's in Buenos Aires, are you looking to recruit more people or volunteers? If you want to let people know how they can get involved and assist the cause?
Absolutely. Anybody that wants to participate in SystemaD can go to SystemaD.org, and it's SYSTEMA.org, and they can fill the form, and we will guide them depending on their skills, because you can be a social worker, you can be a cryptographic programmer. There are many things to do, because you can work on the social part, you can work on the connections with government entities, you can work on the programming part, on developing the platform. So depending on the skills, we'll find a way to make you fit within SystemaD. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for having a chat with us. It's excellent to hear about the technology, and we are changing the world. So
absolutely, thank you for giving me the opportunity to communicate this to others.
All right. Thanks for stopping by the Paradise Paradox. We've got a couple more interviews coming up with Juan Galt, Bitcoin journalist, and Alex Colorado is a developer in the Bitcoin space, and we talk about how Bitcoin could potentially eliminate borders or facilitate trade through countries with trustless transactions. And remember, you can head on over to theparadiseparadox.com and buy some Bitcoin-themed t-shirts, real money, gold, silver, Bitcoin, that kind of crap. Head on over to theparadiseparadox.com, check out the link at the top. And don't forget, Acapulco is coming up in February, and it's a great liberty-minded event focused on anarchism and capitalism, entrepreneurship, freedom, and liberty for everybody, and how we can achieve that. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out at anacapulco.com. I highly recommend it. It was fantastic this year. We met a lot of interesting people talking about ways that we can solve problems which I didn't even realize existed. Head on over to anacapulco.com, ANARCHAPULCO.com. use the promotional code Paradise, and you can get a 10% discount. So I highly recommend it. Check it out, and we'll see you next time.